What's going on, everybody? Noah at Stage 3 Motorsports here, and today we are at SEMA 2021, and I'm going to be bringing you 3 of our favorite F-150 builds from the show. So kicking things off, we're here at Leer's booth with a 2021 F-150. That's an XLT that they built out. And I like this thing because it's very straightforward, cut and dry, and it honestly looks a lot like a build that we would do ourselves if you stuck a Stage 3 badge on here. So you can see they've got iBox Pro Truck suspension on it, just kind of level out the stance. They're running 33-inch Toyo Open Countries with Method 17-inch wheels. It looks really, really nice. The truck isn't overly aggressive, and it's certainly not what you think of when you think SEMA in terms of big powder-coated suspension and LED lights all over the bottom. So I like that it's very realistic. Moving up to the front, you can see they've kind of got it outfitted with a set of Baja design Squadrons and Squadron XLs and some fog light brackets and this front bumper bracket that goes kind of up along the grille. Looks really nice, and they've got some covers on there too, which I think classes it up. And then really the party piece of this truck, and obviously the reason that it's at Leer's booth, is what's going on in the bed. So when you move around back, you can see that they have a paint matched Leer topper on this with Thule's roof rack bars to go over it. And then inside of the bed, they have a bed slide system, which is essentially a giant tray on these huge sliders that allows you to load it up with gear and then be able to pull it back out over the tailgate, so you don't have to crawl into the bed and, in this case, duck under the topper to try and squeeze in and get to gear that you have towards the cab. So it makes it a lot more efficient to use, works really well here, and like I said, I can really appreciate just the overall utility and practicality of this truck. Next up, we worked our way over to Truck Hero's booth, and they've got another 2021 F-150 here, and this one's a little bit more built out than the previous truck we showed you. It's sitting on a 6-inch super lift kit with King coilovers in it, and then obviously we got 35-inch Mickey Thompsons, and then they did go for 20s on the wheels, which I'm not typically a big fan of 20s, but I do like the overall design, and I think with a truck this big and that much tire on it, it actually balances out pretty nicely. Looking at the front of the truck, there's quite a few accessories they've bolted on here, but I will say the one that stuck out to me most is this little Knight Rider kit light bar they got on the front, and it actually has kind of a scanning and a flashing feature as well, so not only does it sort of look like running lights, but you get a couple different options out of it. And then they also have some cab lights up top that kind of match that design, where it's a thin LED strip along it. Overall, I think it does help this truck stand out from the crowd, even if it is maybe a bit more cluttered than what I would do for my own build. If you move around to the bed of this truck, you can tell that they do have it set up with kind of an overland purpose in mind. So there's Rugged Ridge rooftop tent mounted on top of the new Bushwhacker bed rack system. And then of course they've got the high lift jack and a couple other tools and things bolted on there. So it does kind of complete the build, gives it some sort of focus here. And I think a truck like this would make for a pretty fun daily driver and certainly a really fun camping rig. All right, folks, we saved the best for last in this case. I think this is probably my favorite F-150 build here, if you exclude some of the other Raptors and stuff. But overall, I love this truck, and what it is a brand new F-150 Tremor that's sitting here in Ford's booth. Now, this thing does have a full overland build out on it, which I know is kind of played out. There's a lot of trucks that are running these setups with a bed rack on there and a rooftop tent and everything else. But in this case, it's very well done. And the fact that it's on the Tremor platform is pretty cool, because this truck sort of fills the gap between a bare bones F-150 or even an FX4 and where a Raptor comes in. So you're getting something that's a little more aggressive, has a unique suspension setup, and definitely a more unique look. They changed the hood, they changed the grille, the headlights, a lot of different things that kind of spice this truck up a bit, but it doesn't come in at quite as high a price point as the actual Raptor does. And I think it's awesome that Ford is kind of finally filling that void. Now, part of this is obviously the Tremor does have a unique suspension as well, and this truck has it. We don't have a lot of information on it yet, but that Ford Performance Tremor suspension will be something that we're going to be offering down the road. So once we have more details there, hopefully we'll be able to make a video and help get you guys some more info on that if it's something you're interested in for your truck. So moving back to talking about the actual build, this thing is sitting on a set of 305/70/17 Toyo Open Countries. It's got the 1552 Turbo Mac wheels, which are actually the exact same wheels we had on our first gen Raptor build, and I love that. And then it's also got this tan kind of matte colored wrap all over it. Really gives it a good outdoorsy look. And then, as I said, the full overland build out on the back, where it seems like they spared no expense. So they have the rack, the Max Tracks on here. It's got an iCamper tent on the top. They have the ARB fridge, all sorts of different swing outs, bike carriers. There's a ton of stuff on here that I can't cover all in one go, but if you guys get the chance to look into some of the details on this truck, it's definitely worth taking a peek. Overall, it seems like this thing is a super capable, daily drivable kind of overland rig, and this is definitely one of the trucks that I'd categorize as want to own in my list. But with that being said, I think that's gonna wrap up this video for our top 3 F-150s, and hopefully you guys enjoyed the video. video. If you are looking for some more SEMA content, we are going to be putting out some other content related to different builds at the show, so stay tuned, keep an eye on our channel for that, and I will see you guys next time.